Gather around, my buckos, and feast your eyes on this. Make all the illegal copies you want. Put it on.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Well, you know, a lot of times, you know, what we say here on these videos and other YouTubers say on theirs, you know, people they criticize us. They say, you're nuts. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know who you're listening to. You know, it's lying and stuff like that. But when you start to see things develop, because a lot of times you have to understand, a lot of us that are here worked in the industry. There are those who have worked in the industry, and then there are those of us who have friends in the industry. And we do converse still in the industry, and we hear things, and, you know, we try to get confirmations on them, but, you know, these are, you know, it starts out as whispers. Some whispers become rumors, and rumors become fact. And we're still hearing much in the industry that there's so many changes to come. One thing we stress, one thing that I have stressed, is buy physical media. And for the reason is that, one, they're starting to edit a lot of this stuff. They're starting to make changes and stuff like that. I mean, we're hearing so many things that are going on that could end up changing some of the classics out there. I mean, we're hearing that they're playing around to put advertisements in old classic films, which basically that's ruining the film itself, the original vision of the person who directed and the person who wrote the film. You know, you're taking away because you just want to advertise and make money off of it. You know how you make money off of it? You spend the money to restore the classic, give it a proper update as far as quality, sound. You know, if there's an additional scene that the director wanted in there and the studio didn't want, you put it in. You make a director's cut. If it's feasible, some director's cuts are junk. You know, others are fantastic. There are some great director's cuts of movies out there because, you know, these days it's the studios that are calling the shots. You know, they want their boxes checked off. They want, they want their political visions to be thrown into these movies. And we were warned about this. We were warned, and I have warned, you know, of these changes. Now, one of the big things that has come out just in the last couple of days, there is a animation historian, Jerry Beck. And he's gotten word that basically that, you know, you can take it as a grain of salt. You can take it as rumor, wherever you want to take it. Warner Brothers could be phasing out DVDs and Blu-rays next year. Am I surprised at that? Not at all. We got this from MovieWeb, and we'll go over what they said here. Animation historian Jerry Beck claims that Warner Brothers is gearing up to transitional away from physical media business. Those who enjoyed physical media may suffer quite the blow next year. According to the animation historian Jerry Beck, Warner Brothers will begin to phase out DVDs and Blu-rays releasing beginning in 2022. That means that future movies and TV shows will likely not be released on physical, with the focus shifting to streaming, specifically HBO Max. I would believe that. The news began circulating on Twitter recently. While Jerry Beck hasn't tweeted from his personal account in some time now, some screenshots from what appeared to be a Facebook group recently made the rounds. In screen caps, Beck says that the Warner Brothers has no plans to commemorate some of the landmark anniversaries in the world of animation next year, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Jerry Beck is not directly associated with Warner Brothers, but it is to be considered to be a trusted insider in this area. Like I said, there are those who are very trusted in this business, and we get information from some of these people, and basically they know what they're talking about. He is a legitimate historian and has a quite bit of credibility. So while this isn't coming directly from the horse's mouth, it is certainly worth paying attention to. Speaking further, he elaborated, saying the following: it's included both Warner Archive and regular Warner Home Video. You're still seeing some new releases from both during the rest of 2021, but those were planning out last year. Next year, 2022, is when this year's changes will be felt. Yes, the TechSave resets sold well enough for the low overhead archive collection division, but in the big picture, it is peanuts. And the focus over there is now streaming, which is HBO Max. It is worth noting that Jerry Beck specializes in animation, and he could be speaking more specifically about that arena. In any case, the shift away from physical media will attention turn toward streaming makes sense. As much as many movie buffs still love Blu-rays, the market has been shrinking for years. It's a niche market, relatively speaking. Streaming, meanwhile, it is viewed as a future of entertainment and represents possible billions in reliability monthly revenue. Haven't seen that yet. Haven't seen really, this is a thought that they have at some of these streaming sites. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. This is also important as companies like Apple and Amazon are currently facing lawsuits in regarding to digital movies. Pay attention to this. I'll read this one more time. This is important as companies like Apple and Amazon are currently facing lawsuits in regards to digital movies and TV purchases. These purchases aren't so much owned as they are rented for as long as the company decides to carry these titles on the platforms like iTunes. With that in mind, Blu-rays and more recent 4K Ultra HD releases carry a lot of value for those who want to ensure they can watch certain movies indefinitely. Granted, this would at worst just be Warner Brothers, but it would be easy to see if Disney and other studios follow suit in order to double down on streaming. You can check out the screenshots. The screenshots have been pulled down on that. But understand, one of the worst parts about this, understand from someone who worked in that part of the industry, there are a lot of people who still work in this industry. And I'm talking about quality control, technicians, people, that work the line, work the factory line. There are people who package, who put wrappings. There are those who are in the clean rooms, where the discs are made. You have people who load the machines, unload the machines. You have the people that, you have mostly factory and warehousing people. What happens to all of them? Nobody thinks of them, And they say, well, this is a dying thing. So was records, so was audio cassettes. Guess what? Here we are, 2021, and records and audio cassettes are making a major comeback. Physical media is here. And I don't think it's going anywhere as far as people out there. If they want it, they're going to get it, and they're going to pay for it. They want to control this situation. The lawsuits that are happening over at Amazon and Apple is because basically, I don't recommend you to buy anything digitally. If you're going to rent it, fine, rent it. Do not, and I repeat, do not buy it, because basically you're not owning it. It may download into your system, or it may be on your Amazon account, but it could disappear. Because it's licensing rights. The licensing rights could be pulled. It could be sued by the company that owns the licensing rights. They might not want to do business anymore with Amazon or Apple and pull their programming. You see shows like Friends getting pulled from Netflix and other shows. That can happen to Amazon. You have Peacock, you got Paramount, you got all these other companies that are trying to pull back their IPs so they have more of a control over them. For you to go out and say, well, I've just paid $10, I just got it, and I can watch it anytime I want. on Amazon. No, you can't. There is no proof. If you read the fine print, and it says no, and that's why there's the lawsuit that's going on the West Coast. This is why this is happening constantly. You know, people don't realize what they're getting into. They don't. And like I said, buy physical media. I just got a whole slew. In fact, as we're recording this, I'm waiting for my next set to arrive. You know, I just bought a couple things, and some of it is Warner. I just ordered some. Check out our Friday pre-flight shows. I will show some of the older stuff that I've received. We were doing like a little small segment that just shows, you know, a DVD or Blu-ray that we may have gotten from a classic film or TV series. And we'll be doing that week to week as well. But seeing this, and you know, like I said, Jerry Beck, yeah, he's a animation historian. But you got a question out there. Look what is going on at Warner right now. Warner is wrangling in Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. They're ready to get rid of Crunchyroll. They're ready to get rid of Rooster Teeth. You know, the Crunchyroll situation, you know that's going to go a legal down way. Rooster Teeth may disappear permanently if no one ends up buying them. Right now, it'll end up selling cheap. You know, could Tubi TV end up buying that company? I don't know. I mean, they're, you know, would be beneficial to Tubi TV and any other company at this point, any other streaming site. If Crunchyroll, if that fails, it's a possibility Crunchyroll will be absorbed into it. Also, the other half, which we have coming up very soon on pre-flight, the Hanna-Barbera studios are coming back. The UK division of Cartoon Network has been merged into the Hanna-Barbera studios, a new Hanna-Barbera studios. What you're seeing out of HBO Max is they're wrangling all their animation IPs into one place. And we'll be discussing this on other shows. You're going to see the end of some of these broadcast network sites and some of the apps. I mean, I'm talking seeing the end of the Adult Swim app. I'm talking about the end of the Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Toonami. Those are all eventually going to go away. And you may laugh and say, no, where'd you get that information? Catch my other episode. I'll go into the details. But understand this. HBO Max, Warner Brothers, they are physically moving everything into one division. And the emphasis is to HBO Max. Phasing it out, it's going to hurt the industry. It is going to hurt the industry. People still want, you know, physical media. And like I said, buy physical media, especially if you're looking at Disney, you're looking at Warner Brothers. Start looking at there first. Look at, you know, things that are going out of print, and so there's a lot of stuff that's going out of print right now, and I don't expect it to come back into print. And I'm talking something that's in the Blu-ray level. There are some out there that are looking like, you know, they're not going to go beyond the Blu-ray level, which I'm okay with that, because a lot of stuff, a lot of the newer stuff in 4K doesn't work too well unless it's below 1990. Because I noticed a lot of the better 4Ks are the classic stuff, the real classic stuff. I mean, there's a couple things in the 90s that are okay. The stuff in the 2000, unless it's computer graphic driven, as far as computer graphics and stuff like that, those look good on 4K. But the standard movies that are shot today doesn't transfer well because they don't put that much money into the transfer itself. If they didn't have it originally in 4K and they have to create a 4K version, they have to sit there and manually fix some of the things, the imperfections and the lighting and stuff like that, the color shading, the audio itself. A lot goes into. Most people don't realize how much work goes into transferring from one format to the next format. It takes a lot of work, and if they want to emphasize to go digital on there, and they're spending the money to go digital, that's ridiculous. It is really ridiculous because they're going to push it into there where they have more control over it than you having physical media in your hand, which basically, if they decide to change something, which basically most people won't agree, they might take a scene out. And we've seen this already. It happened on Netflix. We've seen it happen on other streaming sites where a scene has been removed or a warning label has been put on. I mean, the Tex Avery stuff, their warning labels put on the Tex Avery stuff, which is ridiculous. It's cartoons. That's all it is. It's crazy, over-the-top cartoons. The old saying from that cartoon, when's the hurting going to stop? So you've reached this part of the video. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, share this video. And don't forget to comment below. We would really appreciate that. And also, I want to thank those who have subscribed. We had a big push this past weekend. We got in a good amount of subscribers. A lot of comments on there, especially on our Saturday pre-flight. Saturday pre-flight is doing well so far. It's a good show for Friday nights. We talk a lot of the classic stuff, Me TV, classic streaming, all that rolled into one package on there. So do check out Saturday Pre-Flight every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Q2Cast TV. Also, we're looking at right now about 50 more subscribers to hit 400. So that's hit that subscription. 50 more to go. So thank you again. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now. Oh, and before we go, don't forget to check out our new Teespring shop, our Q2Cast shop, and at our new address, Shop Q2Cast, where you could check out our new anime shirts that we have out. Anime shirts, pillows, just in time for the spring and summer. Go check them out. And we have some of our classics still available in there from our TV shows. And we have more t-shirts on the way. We're redesigning the Q2Cast shop, our merch shop. We have a lot more coming. So do check us out. That's shopq2cast.com. One more time, that's shopq2cast.com. It is up and available just for you. And remember, all proceeds go to help this channel.